agus fáilteamh go SpeakGaelic. Welcome to SpeakGaelic. I'm going to start by asking a question, which will give you a clue as to what we'll be looking at in this episode. A bhliadhnaichean tachgrasadh. Are you hungry? A bhliadhnaichean tachgrasadh. I suspect we'll all be heading to the kitchen shortly, as our theme is bíag agus deoch, food and drink. Bíag agus deoch. And since it is, I'm going to share another great Gaelic phrase with you. Han tachgras ga mo hollúch. It's another one that gets slightly lost in translation. Literally, it's the hunger is making a hole in me. But it simply means I'm starving. Han tachgras ga mo hollúch. I'll try and let you hear it again a few more times during the next half hour. But first, let's see what's ahead of us. How to say what you like to eat and drink.
Gai me tost. Still am tost.
Calum Maclean samples a genuine Scottish delicacy. Talk about food in the past and future tenses.
Ich mi brachast ag ochguarin.
And we'll meet learner Coinneach MacLeod, who's rediscovered his passion for Gaelic. There's a lot to look forward to, so I think it's time to speak Gaelic. A bhfuil sibh deisial? Are you ready? A bhfuil sibh deisial? Let's start. The Gaelic for food is bíag. Bíag. And drink, deoch. Deoch. Bíag agus deoch. Food and drink. Bíag agus deoch. And before we move on, we should really learn the words for the main meal times. Brachgischt, breakfast. Brachgischt. And lunch. Vaughan, lunch. Vaughan. And junior, dinner. Junior. If you would like something to eat or drink, you say ha mi a giari. I am wanting. I want. Or I would like. Ha mi a giari. Followed by whatever it is you want. For example, ha mi a giari cúch-ba-tea. I would like a cup of tea. Ha mi a giari cúch-ba-tea. If you're hungry, you say han tachgras orm. I'm hungry. Han tachgras orm. And if you're thirsty, it's ha pag orm. I'm thirsty. Ha pag orm. Now, to be hospitable and offer a friend some food or drink, you ask, in gavu, will you take or will you have? In gavu, maybe a cup of tea. In gavu cúch-ba-tea, will you take a cup of tea? In gavu cúch-ba-tea. And the response to that will almost certainly be gavi. I will. Gavi. Not chagav. I won't. Chagav. Gavi and chagav. Let's listen to some of these phrases being used in this conversation.
A bhliadhnaichean tachgras ort?
Ha. Han tachgras orm.
Dé how giori ma ha.
Ha mi a giari. Aran.
In gavu tost?
Gai. Gai me tost. Still am tost. A bhliadhnaichean tachgras orm se.
Channeilin tachgras orm. A chan pag orm. A bhliadhnaichean pag orst hain.
Han pag orm.
In gavu coffee.
Chagav me coffee ichtje.
In gavu su.
Gai. Gai me su orange.
Gleva. Su orange agus tost.
Dé ha sibh se gol. Tea?
Well, is still am tea, ach sé coffee a charlem. Gai me sé coffee le bagne.
Agus su orange le tost.
Did you recognise some of the words and phrases used there? Maddie asked Marstein, "Vilen tachgrasorst?" Are you hungry? Vilen tachgrasorst? To which he replied, "Ha, han tachgrasorum." Yes, I am hungry. Han tachgrasorum. Maddie then went on to ask, "Je hawagiari?" What do you want? Je hawagiari? And he said, "Hamiagiari aran." I would like bread. Hamiagiari aran. We also heard Maddie say, "Ham pagorum." I'm thirsty. Ham pagorum. And she asked Marstein, "Vilen pag orstein?" Are you thirsty? Vilen pag orstein. You'll remember that the yes and no responses, ha, yes, and no, chanil, can be used with these bheil questions. We were also introduced to an gavu, will you have? An gavu. Maddie asked Marstein, "In gavu tost?" Will you have toast? In gavu tost. And Marstein said he would. Gavi, is Calum toast? Yes, I will. I like toast. Gavi, is Calum toast? And we'll learn more about Gav and Gavi in future programmes. But for now, let's listen to some of that conversation again.
Vilen tachgrasorst?
Ha, han tachgrasorum.
Je hawagiari maha.
Hamiagiari. Aran.
In gavu tost?
Gai mi tost. Stillen tost. Vilen tachgrasorum she.
Chanil tachgrasorum. Acham pagorum. Vilen pagorstein?
Han pagorum.
In gavu coffee.
Chagav mi koffie ichtje.
In gavu su?
Gai mi su orange.
Gleva. Su orange agus tost.
Now it's time for the part of the programme where we get to meet another fantastic learner and hear what inspired them on their journey to speak Gaelic. And we don't just include people who have recently started learning. Maybe you already understand and possibly even speak a little Gaelic, but have lost your confidence and want to build it up again. That's exactly what our next guest is doing. He's Coinneach MacLeod from the Isle of Lewis, but before we start talking, let's find out a bit more about him.
Hello, it's Mr. Coinneach MacLeod. I'm Coinneach MacLeod, but some people call me Kenny. Ha mi Leòdhas, ach ha mi furach an den glasachol. I spoke Gaelic when I was a child, but from a very young age, for some reason, I began to reply to my parents in English. Now I'm determined to get my Gaelic back again. I'm trying to speak it with friends and family. Stillam a bhí fiachan rí Gaelic a bhrian. However, day to day, I'm more likely to be speaking English, Russian or French to people across the world. Bonjour Marie, hola Chris. I work for UEFA on a programme supporting football federations in developing countries outside Europe. And today I'm speaking to the UEFA team in Switzerland who are from countries all over Europe. I have to admit that singing has taken over some of my free time now, especially in Gaelic. Ha mi bhí sin ag bhfad fat bhliadhnaichean. Agus hain mi cóirí h-Alba ag Eurovision an san tóin. Coinnichidh mi neach-ionnsachaidh go bra. However, my real passion is baking. I love traditional recipes or putting a Scottish twist on a classic bake. I love uploading my baking videos to social media to show people how easy it is to make tasty things and to let them hear a bit of Gaelic. Chóirsteach rúm na videoin agam fat a dhéanú an sa Gaelic. In last dócha.
Well, a Coinneach fáilteoirt to speak Gaelic.
Bheil, cumar a how, Joy.
Gymach, how he.
Cléimhe.
Now, as we saw in the video, we know each other very well, and we're together at Eurovision, which was a fantastic experience.
I still cry every time I watch it.
Yeah, and has your love for Gaelic song brought you back to the language?
I think it has, Joy, actually. When I moved back to Scotland and rejoined a Gaelic choir, it got you back into the Gaelic community, speaking Gaelic, singing in Gaelic, and there's nothing better.
No, definitely not. Now, you grew up speaking Gaelic, but sort of lost it along the way. How did that happen?
Well, I think during the kind of late 70s and 80s on the islands, there was a push to make sure that the kids were speaking good English. But maybe a bit too far. Yeah. And I took that maybe a wee bit too far as well. And even then, when my parents would speak to me in Gaelic, I would start to speak back in English. And it's kind of stuck. And from that, then maybe a wee bit of the confidence is lost. And you kind of lose the kind of normal way of speaking back in Gaelic. So I need to get that back.
And I think that's a story, actually, that many people will recognise. So what language do you speak now to your family?
Well, I suppose it depends who I'm speaking to.
Yeah.
There's a few old aunties that I speak to in Gaelic when I'm at home, but I still falter sometimes. And I think that, again, is down to a wee bit of confidence in knowing and understanding what everybody is speaking about, but just having that extra wee bit of confidence to speak back and maybe not worry about making too many mistakes.
And actually, making mistakes is the best way to learn because you go, oh, okay, I did that, I won't do it again.
And you see, you know, when you're speaking to pals or family, they're not going to, you know, question if you get a wee bit of grammar wrong. They're really supportive. And I think that's the thing to always remember, is that everybody wants you to be able to speak Gaelic well and enjoy speaking Gaelic. Yeah. And that's what I definitely want to do.
So what advice would you have for people who are maybe in the same boat, would like to speak more Gaelic, but just haven't got there yet?
Well, I would say ceumannan, just keep going and practice. I think it has helped just learning a wee bit of grammar again and adding that into just speaking naturally. And just don't be afraid to speak. You know, just a wee sentence here or there. And actually, sometimes what helps as well is speaking to other learners. So that gives you the confidence as well. And I've really enjoyed doing that. People who are maybe on the same level, who just want to get back into speaking Gaelic on a day-to-day basis, because that's what I want to do.
And it is confidence. You know, fake it till you make it. Try and speak as much as you can.
Correct. And if you accidentally put in a German word or a Spanish word,
yeah, who cares?
Who cares? We'll keep trying.
Now, do you have a favourite Gaelic word or phrase?
Well, I think I do, Joy, actually. I think over the past wee while, I've been enjoying being at home, and I use a phrase a lot, "Beri blas Leòdhas," and it sort of means there's a time for everything. I love the kind of the concept of Danish ùidh. And I'm thinking maybe if blas is the Gaelic version, the Hebridean version of Danish ùidh. So just give yourself a wee bit of time to enjoy life. So that's my mantra for this year.
I think that is a great one. Well, Coinneach. Thank you so much for coming to see us. I guess ceumannan Gaelic.
Tapalet.
And we're continuing with the food theme until iasg. Do you like fish? Stalum sa iasg. I like fish. If you're a food and drink fan, you'll love what Calum MacLean has in store for us.
Once upon a time near Vhruidhinn, Arbroath, Vhruidhinn, there was a fish, an iasg, and this particular fish was a haddock, an attak. Hello, attak. Hello, Calum. And this iasg was very tasty. But then someone discovered you could make it taste even better. No way! It's true! But how? They smoked it. And so was born the Arbroath Smoky. It's like being slapped by a wet fish. The actual home of the Smoky is actually 3 miles south of Ùidh in a place called Auchmythy. But I'm not there. I've travelled 35 miles inland to meet up with Ian Spink, whose family have been smoking fish for generations. And he's got dozens of fresh attacks with string around each erapal tail, ready to smoke. Hi
Hello,
Ian,
Calum.
how you doing?
Not bad. Yourself?
Not too bad, aye. No smoke without fire, what's going on here?
That's for sure. Yeah, well, I'm going to make you some smokies today.
Okay.
So what happens next is we wait patiently for this fire to get a nice good solid hold, and then we take the fish, put it on top of the barrel, and then we take the hessian bags, they go all across the top, cover it up, all the flames die down, and the fish will just cook slowly, hopefully for about 40 minutes.
Brilliant.
Simple as that.
Ian uses a mix of hardwoods to get his own distinctive taste. And with the fire now producing enough smoke, it's time to hang the attacks.
Perfect.
Why is it so important that they're all facing the same way? Why does it matter?
Because I go by sight
Yep.
as to when they're cooked, not by time. So I judge by the colour.
What makes hessian such a good material? Why use that?
For windy days like this, I can just dampen it down a bit and just let it regulate the fire.
What do we do now then?
We wait patiently for 25 minutes, or maybe about 20 minutes perhaps, and then we go and have a cup of tea.
Good, let's go.
Nice and slow.
Smoke follows beauty, isn't that what they say?
45 minutes later and the iasg is ready. But today, as I'm more than 5 miles out of Arbroath, these attacks can't be called Arbroath Smokies due to their protected status. So, for one day only, let's just call them Calum Smokies. Yes, I like the sound of that, and I did help.
That's your tea ready, Calum?
Excellent. I haven't eaten all day in preparation for this.
Okay, right, hope it's not going to disappoint. Freshly smoked, straight off the fire. How's that?
That looks sensational. Attack smocte. Tasty. Bluster. Can I have some? No, my attack.
Bhliadhnaichean. Incredibly tasty. H-Alba. Thank you, Calum, and your fishy friend. He really does get to some great places and meet some interesting people, doesn't he? And thanks to Calum, we now know that iasg is fish, attack is haddock, ceò is smoke, ceò. And if you want to catch up with his exploits at any time, head over to our website, where you'll find some more of Calum's unique take on the language. And don't forget to follow us on all of the social media platforms for a behind-the-scenes look at what he gets up to. But now, a bhliadhnaichean déisial. It's time to speak some more Gaelic. If you want to ask someone what it is they're eating, you say, h-Alba. What are you eating? h-Alba. And if you want to ask what they're drinking, it's h-Alba. What are you drinking? h-Alba. To tell someone what it is you're eating, you say h-Alba. And whatever it is. h-Alba. For example, h-Alba chlàr-bìdh. I'm eating a sandwich. h-Alba chlàr-bìdh. And to tell someone what it is you're drinking, h-Alba. And whatever it is. h-Alba. And if you're drinking wine, something I like to do occasionally, h-Alba. I'm drinking wine. h-Alba. Finally, to ask what someone has eaten, it's Gaidhlig. What did you eat? Gaidhlig. And to reply to that question, you say ùidh me, followed by whatever it is you've eaten. Ùidh me. For example, ùidh me chlàr-bìdh. I ate a sandwich. Ùidh me chlàr-bìdh. Let's listen to some of these phrases being used in this next conversation.
Bheicear maith, Johnny.
Hallo, bhícheal. Bhfuil an tachar is ort.
Hán tachar sorm. Ha ùidh bheiscear. Seo lán.
Dé hafa giche.
Ha mi giche chlàr-bìdh le cáise.
Dé hafa gáil.
Ha mi gáil tí.
Stellam tí. Stellam coffee cúteach. Ach sé tí a searlan.
Mac'il an tachar sormh.
Anil an tachar is orm.
In de gích sibh beagan dú.
Ich mi brachgast ag ochguarin. Ich mi brochan agus gáil mi tí.
Gích meise messin, yoghurt, is tost. Agus gáil mi coffee.
Ha bhí mi a giche lán. Bhí mi a giche brachgast. Agus bhí mi a giche junior.
Díbhas sibh giche an och.
Bhí mi a giche iasg agus benháte. Is tillam iasg.
Díbhas sibh gáil.
Bhí mi gáil fian geall. Sé fian geall a searlan. Díbhas de héna giche an och.
Bhí meise a giche pizza agus a gáil leam.
Leon agus pizza. Well, well.
Hallo, bhícheal.
Hallo, Elsie. Díbhas sí sé giche ar san junior an och.
Bhí me sé giche iasg is bentáte is a gáil fian geall. Stellam iasg agus is fér hallam fian geall.
Did you recognise some of the words and phrases there? We heard the three main meal times. Brachgist, breakfast. Brachgist, lunch. Lawn, and dinner. Junior, junior. Michael asked Shani, and the ùidh bìdh in Jew. Have you eaten food today? And the ùidh bìdh in Jew. And Shani replied, ùidh me brachgist ag ochguadan. I ate breakfast at 8. Ùidh me brachgist ag ochguadan. He then told Michael what he ate. Ùidh me brochan agus gáil me tea. I ate porridge and I drank tea. Ùidh me brochan agus gáil me tea. Michael also told us what he drank with his breakfast. Gáil me coffee. I drank coffee. Gáil me coffee. To say you like something, remember, it's talum. But to say you prefer something else, we use the phrase a searlum. We heard Shani say, is talum coffee? I like coffee. Is talum coffee? And he went on to say, ach sé tea a searlum. But it's tea I prefer. Ach sé tea a searlum. Let's listen to some of that conversation again. And you can watch all of the conversations in this series as often as you like on our website, supported by bilingual transcriptions.
Bheiscear maith, Johnny.
Hallo, bhícheal. Bhfuil an tachar is ort.
Hán tachar sorm. Ha ùidh bheiscear. Seo lán.
Dé hafa giche.
Ha mi giche chlàr-bìdh le cáise.
Dé hafa gáil.
Ha mi gáil tí.
Stellam tí. Stellam coffee cúteach. Ach sé tí a searlan.
Mac'il an tachar sormh.
Anil an tachar is orm.
In de gích sibh beagan dú.
Ich mi brachgast ag ochguarin. Ich mi brochan agus gáil mi tí.
Gích meise messin, yoghurt, is tost. Agus gáil mi coffee.
Word order in Gaelic differs when saying someone is hungry or thirsty. Han tachgras id marstein, the hunger's on marstein. Or, mad is thirsty, ham pag id madi. In Gaelic we say that the hunger or the thirst is on them. To say I'm hungry or you're thirsty, we need the words for on me, orm, and on you, orst. A villain tachgras orst. Are you hungry? On him is id, and on her is orre. Is he thirsty? A villain pag id. And is she thirsty? A villain pag orre. Han tachgras orm. I'm hungry. Han tachgras orm. But before I go and get something to eat, let's have a look at what we've covered. A villain tachgras orst. Are you hungry? A villain tachgras orst. Are you thirsty? A villain pag orst. A villain pag orst. And to answer, we use ha and chanil. Yes and no. Ha and chanil. To ask what someone has eaten, it's ùidh. What did you eat? ùidh. And to reply, ùidh me. And whatever it is you've eaten, ùidh me. And finally, if you like something, is Calum. I like. Is Calum. But to say you prefer something else, we use the phrase a searlum. I prefer. A searlum. Agus seargás a fallov han tachgras gama hollug. I'd better go and get something to eat because I'm starving. Remember, you can find more detailed learning notes on our website, as well as information about language classes you can join. You can listen to our podcasts on BBC Sounds, and you can also watch all of the programmes in this series on BBC iPlayer. There's plenty there to keep you going until our next episode. Until the next time, cheery and drasta.